Lights, camera, action. Welcome to Movie Makers, a 15 plus Reckless Amoeba podcast. I am your host, Brandon Horvath, and with me are my co-hosts, Ryan Stokely and Brandon Falinger.
Good evening, good afternoon, and good morning.
Yes. Hello. Are we here? Is the thing on? I think it's good.
Yes, it is. So I don't think I do the rules enough just in case this is your first time listening, but we have 10 randomly selected words. Brandon has a 4-sided dice. Using randomization, we will try to make a movie title and then make a movie.
Oh,
An
yeah.
outline for a movie.
Yes. Sometimes we find the actors as well.
It's true. We go as far as we can with the title we have.
Yes. It's fun. Keep listening.
Oh,
If you don't, I'm going to send raptors at your house.
Raptors?
I was going to say something else, which would probably put me on a list.
I don't know. I thought we were sending ninjas.
No, I was going to...
The stealth of the ninjas will make sure we're never caught.
A certain substance. Anyway.
Who says the ninjas aren't feeding it into their air vents as we speak?
This is true. Breathe deeply.
okay.
Breathe deeply.
The words are bucket, fuzzy, grandfather, encourage, compete, fluttering.
Fluttering?
Yes, fluttering.
Okay.
Gifted, yellow, scrape, and wobble.
I don't know if I like many of these words.
The fuzzy bucket.
There's very little in the way of nouns. We were kind of limited.
We got fluttering. We got fuzzy as a adverb or whatever.
We got like 3. I guess scrape could be considered a noun too.
I have an idea.
Well, let's find out what the dice say. We got us a 2, boys.
Okay, my idea. My fuzzy grandfather. A boy finds out that his long-lost grandfather is a Muppet.
You know, I started to like this, and then you did the Muppet thing, and I don't know if I like that better than the idea of he finds out his grandfather's a Yeti.
Yes?
I mean, we did start off with the paranormal before we did this episode, so that's where my head's at the moment.
Well, can we make this just...
A puppet?
No. Could we make this just a little bit weird? Weird, quote-unquote, kind of like a were-yeti? Like, he seems like a normal grandfather, except under the light of the moon, he becomes a yeti.
So for a second,
Yes.
And again, this is probably my brain going to other places, I thought you were going to say, what if we mix the idea of a puppet and the Yeti, and we get something that's like the stop motion from the Rudolph movie?
That's what his grandfather turns into.
I would be for that.
Because the title sounds like a children's movie.
We make it in stop motion. That'll be the shtick. It's a stop motion movie.
Yes.
I'm all for this.
Yeah, dude.
My fuzzy grandfather. And in parentheses, a Yeti. So the question then becomes, does the grandfather lose control when he becomes a Yeti, or is he in full control?
He's in full control.
True, he has had how many years to get used to. Does he live longer than most people?
Yeah, he also lives in the Alps.
I was going to say, is that why he's a long-lost grandfather or something like
Yes.
that? Oh,
the family, like an estranged grandfather.
Yeah. I was wondering. I'm like, well, how does he meet his estranged grandfather? Is there some tragedy that happens to his parents that it's like this is your only living relative that we know of?
He kind of I feel like he should like they move, like his family moves, and he finds something like in a box that his dad had labeled, and her mom, and they just like rummage through it, and they find something, and the parent catches them looking, and then it kind of like that's how they get to talking. Yeah, oh, your grandpop is it? But they don't know. They don't tell the kid that he's just like why he's estranged. Like, oh, your grandmother passed away, and he kind of went crazy and moved to the mountains, and we haven't seen him. It's like every now and then he'll send us a letter or something.
It's just Grandpa Gohan from fucking Dragon Ball.
Sure, I don't know, but yeah. What do you think? What do you guys think?
Yes.
I'm trying to think like how we can spin this one to like give us an actual like a plot that we can like pull scenes from. Because like in this one, it's just kind of like at this point it just seems like a kind of heartwarming thing as the kid gets to know his estranged grandfather or something. But where's the problem, right? Because there's got to be some kind of problem here.
He tries to bring his grandfather back into everyday society, and Pixar level of shenanigans will happen.
Just starts sweating profusely. It's too hot down here. I can't take it.
Just sweating through clothes.
Yeah, just constantly sweating through clothes. There's a point where like he tries, and it's like he just has to have a bucket underneath him. He's sweating so much. Like he's got to stand in it.
Yeah. You can't take him the big and tall.
So is he a Yeti all the time, or are we going with my idea of like a Yeti?
We were going to go with the Were Yeti.
Okay, okay.
But like the effects of, I was going to say the effects of being a Yeti is still going to like somewhat affect him in his human form, like the temperature thing.
Okay, okay.
He can't handle like normally nice temperatures that most people would enjoy. It's too hot. What all do we know about Yetis? Hold on, I gotta look this up now because my Yeti fucking knowledge is fuzzy at the moment.
I know they bounce.
What?
They are cannibalistic. Yeah, they usually leave the corpses around.
But don't you remember that scene in Rudolph? Like, oh, don't you know? Bumbles bounce!
It's been so long since I've seen that damn thing, I probably couldn't tell you.
They bury their dead by putting rocks over top of them. Possibly, what if his grandmother was also a Yeti? What if his family, like on his one side of his family, is like also half Yeti or something?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh. So... No.
And he's gonna figure out that it skips a generation, and he's gonna be Yeti. So, yeah,
that's why maybe like he's entering like Yeti puberty, and it's like,
yeah,
we need you as your grandfather.
Yeah, but what about the parents? Wouldn't the parents have gone through it?
No, it skips a generation.
It skips a generation.
Yeah, it would have to be, I guess, the mom's dad. I'm pretty sure that's how like most genetics work. Because there's that movie, Splash, about the girl turns into a mermaid or something, or the kid turns into a fish or something, a mermaid. It's a Disney movie, and like it skips a generation. It's like same thing basically. Damn, dude, Simpsons did it. I like our idea way better than the stupid mermaid. Mermaids are dumb.
I will say, like, just to like kind of like sit this in some Yeti lore, if you want to look at it that way. I would say that when he does transform, I'm going to go ahead and call out that he needs to like be very territorial, and it's why there have been deaths like around the mountain.
Oh yeah,
he's got to be super territorial about like his area.
Hey, you! Get off my land!
Well, I was gonna say I don't think he can technically speak. It wouldn't work. for like the way the Yeti's always depicted. I would say like maybe like the way the teeth are when he's a Yeti don't allow him to speak clearly enough. Especially if it's a snowstorm or something, you're not going to understand him.
What?
Well, I mean, also people see a giant fucking woolly Bigfoot in the mountains and freak out. That's the other part of it.
Or can we play this up as slightly comedic, where all the grandfather's neighbors knows he's a Yeti, but in normal society, nobody knows that.
Who else is living on the mountain? Like, that's kind of what we started off with, though, is him being a Yeti man and having to leave society and live on the mountain alone.
Maybe, like, Mountain Man Phil, who, like, lives, like, 2-3 miles away from him.
Like one of the Sherpa that guide people, maybe?
Maybe. Like, oh...
I could see that if it's, like, one guy, maybe two, that know about it, and are just like, nah, you want to steer clear of over there, like, when they guide people. And maybe that's also the guy that helps bring up supplies to the grandfather.
Like, oh, you are looking for the Yeti. Oh, I wouldn't go there. But he is usually in that area.
I really want to see this movie so far.
I'm trying to think of like what else we can really do with this, because I feel like this is one that we're kind of hitting a wall on.
Yeah, and now
either because we don't have enough
scenes.
I was gonna say mostly because we don't have enough Yeti knowledge, and because we're trying to force this into a movie that's more kid friendly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we can't have any grisly Yeti murders.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Just got to tell them. Well, they just disappeared when they got on the mountain and found the Yeti. That's all.
There will be a... Oh, will there be a big game hunter that's like, oh, a Yeti, I need to capture this Yeti?
Why not a cryptozoologist?
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
More sense.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna capture this here Yeti, and he's gonna be my big prize. I'll prove to the world he exists.
Oh, so it will be... No, will he be like, oh, what's the name of the one teacher from Fairly Odd Parents that just scream like
Crocker?
Yeah.
Yeah. I almost said Miss Trunchbull. I thought you were gonna
I was leaning more toward like he's like a big buff Steve Irwin type person.
Oh, okay.
Maybe not the brightest, but like that's where your comedy can come in. He's trying to trap. Like, hell, you could have a freaking montage of him trying to trap the Yeti and failing because he's not bright enough with his traps.
But since Grandpa Yeti has kind of human-like intelligence, he knows their traps.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. It's not even that he's human-like intelligence. It's that this guy's got clever enough with his traps. Like he'll set out a big foot trap, with the what is it? Like the big like noose or whatever that would be on the ground with like a piece of bait in the middle of it.
Mm-hmm.
But he won't cover up the noose. It'll just be sitting there like a big obvious piece of rope.
Oh.
And then he'll just be like, I'm gonna pick this up and toss it to the side and grab the food. And then the next thing you know, the cryptozoologist or whatever has like accidentally later when checking the trap stepped into the trap itself because he didn't realize it had been moved. And he's hanging from the tree now. I know obviously he's Mr. Big, Yeti hunter man. He's got himself a little like machete knife in case he needs it so he can cut himself down. But it's like, oh man, the Yeti must have figured out my trap. Oh jeez. And of course he has to have a very shitty stereotypical Australian accent.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, we can slip in Pierre's stupid ass like slang if you like.
Or maybe Ollie?
God fucking no. You're lucky I gave you the stupid slang.
Well, I mean, if you would go down to Australia, you would hear Australian slang a lot more.
Again, that's why I'm saying you're lucky I gave it to you, because it makes a little bit of sense.
Okay.
But yeah, we could have that whole situation of just like a montage of failed traps.
Okay.
So the next part is, where do we round this out then? We got hijinks with the grandfather trying to readapt into regular society. We didn't exactly figure out how the kid and the grandfather get together in the first place.
Well, like, I guess the kid will start having like weird growth spurt and.
Right. So he's being like sent or whatever to figure out his
Yeah.
bloodline or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, pretty much. So he
Or
hangs out
curse.
with his grandpa up in the mountains for a little bit, and then he goes down to visit the parents and stuff.
The parents had to be like super reluctant about it, but it's like, what other choice do we have?
Yeah, that's like their hijinks. But I feel like we'll say the kid like is about to turn 18 as well, and he like about to graduate high school. So like after school, he has to like move up to the mountains with his grandpa.
Well, yeah, because he can't handle the heat anymore either.
Yeah, so like that's like the sad part of the movie where he has to go up, and then maybe it just kind of shows like
Do we get an Obi-Wan moment at the end where the grandfather's like, young man, there can only be one of us at a time, and he just like fades away.
My initial thought was going to be like 12 or 13 because of my whole Yeti puberty idea.
yeah,
And it's like, oh, it's just puberty. Oh, wait, no.
Well, no. I know what Orion's going for here. I think what he wants to do here is like a little time skip after the main events of the movie.
Oh, okay.
Once the kid's 18, there's no way he can keep dealing with, the Yeti problems of like overheated and stuff.
yeah, they do that, and then they would probably do like a few years skip just to show that he keeps in touch with his grandpa after the initial thing,
Mm-hmm.
and then yeah,
Introduced his grandfather to cell phones, and now he somehow has a cell phone signal up there.
mm-hmm.
Oh, does this mean he's going to have to break up with his girlfriend Stephanie, who will introduce as a, like, sidekick for him or something?
I don't know how you're going to fit that in when he's up in the mountains.
Oh, okay. I don't know.
You could maybe do something with like perhaps the Sherpa daughter, if you wanted to really plug in the love interest angle. But I don't know how well that's gonna. I don't know how well that's gonna fit as far as like keeping to the main plot, because now you got to dedicate time to that side thing.
Yeah, that was just like an afterthought.
Yeah, and it's one of the things with movies in general that tends to be annoying for people is that there's this side plot with a love interest that really doesn't go anywhere or just takes away from the main plot. Like hell, one of the movies I'd like to do whenever we do go back to dumpster drive-ins or whatever is literally one that has that problem of like, this character just feels shoehorned in for no reason.
Yeah, we see the horn.
Horn? Oh my god, they're the true Yakuza!
Oh god.
What?
He's referencing Yakuza 0 when we played it.
That's what I figured. But oh man,
Clowns are the true Yakuza.
Go watch the playthrough, alright? It explains everything.
that game is just too wild. Anyway.
Mark Hamill was one of the initial American voice actors for it.
When they originally tried to like get it over here, yeah.
Oh, cool. I feel like Nicolas Cage would do the grandfather voice for this movie. Speaking
Oh my god.
Nicolas Cage is in a lot of movies we make.
Yeah, he's a great actor. What are you laughing at, Brandon? Is that a mocking laugh, dude?
No. I'm just trying to imagine Nicolas Cage as like this Yeti man.
This wise old grandfather Yeti man.
I turned into a Yeti. Just like yelling the whole time.
Oh, come on. No. What's his name?
Rip Torn?
No. I was going to say, we should get the guy who plays Emmett. We should get Emmett Brown. The guy who played the Doc, Christopher Lloyd. That's it. That's his name.
Lloyd.
We should get him to play the Yeti.
Yes.
Heck, we can even get a reference at one point to "I was frozen today."
Yes, I would like that.
What about Danny DeVito?
He's one of the Sherpas.
The Sherpas. Look at the
We get if we want to put Nicolas Cage in there, we can make him the dad to the kid.
Okay.
Or maybe we have a Danny DeVito and Nicolas Cage Sherpa duo.
Oh shit! And who would the kid be played?
Are there such a thing as a female Sherpa?
Yeah.
I mean, why wouldn't there be?
Okay.
We got to be inclusive, man. All right. Why wouldn't there be a female Sherpa? You know, maybe it's Danny DeVito's daughter, and he's teaching her the ropes of mountain climbing.
Yeah, that could be it.
Because I'm not, and I know like this is completely out of nowhere, but I was suddenly thinking about the hyena sidekicks from Lion King, and I'm like, oh yeah, Whoopi Goldberg was one of them.
Yes, she was.
So maybe Whoopi Goldberg could voice one of the female Sherpas.
We don't want to have too many Sherpas. I was thinking like one or two, and then if we wanted a daughter, we could have a daughter. We should definitely have to play an older person at least. Maybe she's like, maybe she plays like the grandmother in flashbacks.
Okay, I like that.
You got like a stacked little rock thing out in the back, like grave marker out in the back, and that's where she's buried at the grandfather's place.
Yeah. I like it.
Will there be any like winter magic where she like visits her grandson for one scene?
No.
No? Okay.
I would say no. We're sticking with like the Yeti being like a curse or something. Having winter magic just kind of seems out of nowhere.
Okay.
Trying to think of how though. Maybe
if you really wanted to do something like that, maybe it's a dream sequence.
Yeah, dream sequence.
Like after the kid hears stories of his grandmother from his grandfather.
Yeah, or like his grandfather gives him like a tea or something that like.
Oh yeah, no, that could work. Like a
tropic,
like an herbal tea that triggers dreams or something. Like if you want to go like Native American style magic, that would make a little more sense.
Or would the Sherpas give it to him?
I feel like, well, yeah, I guess since they're kind of like.
I don't know enough about their culture to really pick on that as a thread.
They could be like like Native American Sherpas.
This is supposed to be in the Himalayas, though.
Oh, true.
Like, that's where the Yeti is mostly centered.
Yeah. So this would be what the hell?
You like out toward like India or something out there.
Yeah. Where do they live then?
The Himalayas are near Tibet, between the border of Nepal and China.
Okay.
That's it. I was trying to remember if it bordered China or if it was the other side where like Pakistan and stuff was.
I'm not great with geography with that stuff.
I knew it bordered India, but I couldn't remember what side of India.
Yeah, don't worry. I'm not that wonderful with geography myself.
I know where Mount Crumpet is more than most mountains on planet Earth, so. And that's right outside Whoville.
But yeah, no, but we've kind of outlined it as much as we can at this point.
Yeah.
Without getting into hairy details, I think.
How about if you have a cool idea, leave it in the comments. Also, if you are still listening, please subscribe and leave a like and also a comment.
And if you finally posted this onto like the podcast websites, please give us a 5-star review.
Yes.
Yes. And if you're on YouTube, you can put actors down who you would want to see play the roles, because we don't know crap about actors.
I remember the characters. I barely remember the actors' names.
Also, Paul Giamatti would be a great guy. You know, I always like adding him. He's a great actor. Yeah. So think about that. Think about Paul Giamatti. Leave us a comment about Paul Giamatti. Who's your favorite?
Maybe the kid. Maybe the kid could be Ryan Reynolds.
Sure. That would be cool.
I don't know how well Ryan Reynolds can do like a child's voice.
I think he can do pretty good.
Well,
like a teenage.
Yeah,
if it goes, you do teenage voice for sure.
Yeah, like if he's like 12, 13, his voice might have changed then.
I mean, we're also pulling out a bunch of like, because this isn't going to be a live action movie. I feel like we'd also have to balance this out with actual voice actors too.
No way, dude. Just let the. How about the lady who does Bart Simpson?
Nancy something.
Eat my shorts, man.
Yeah, dude.
Cartwright, I think her name is. Nancy Cartwright.
By the way, this movie's called The Fuzzy Grandfather. Don't forget that.
My fuzzy grandfather.
My fuzzy grandfather, yes.
Okay, so it seems like the lights are coming on in the theater and the credits are rolling.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess until we make movies again, we will catch you later.
Goodbye.
Bye.